Hello and welcome. I'm Ramesh Ramachandran and you're watching Express News on DD India. India's External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar's visit to Belgium commenced with discussions on combating terrorism and bolstering bilateral ties with his Belgian counterpart, Maxime Prevot. External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar on Tuesday called on the President of the European Commission, Ursula von der Leyen, in Brussels. He praised her strong condemnation of the Pahalgam attack and solidarity in combating terrorism. Earlier, addressing the Indian community representatives from Belgium and Luxembourg, Minister Jaishankar emphasized on Belgium's need to adapt the idea of Atmanirbhar Bharat, commending India-Belgium relations. India's Foreign Secretary Vikram Misri, who is on an official visit to the UAE, met with Ali Al-Nuami, chairperson of the Defence Affairs, Interior and Foreign Affairs Committee of the Federal National Council on Tuesday. During his visit to Switzerland, India's Minister of Commerce and Industry, Piyush Goyal, met with Jean-Bernard Parmelin, the Swiss Federal Councillor and head of the Department of Economic Affairs, to discuss opportunities to enhance bilateral trade and investment. Minister Goyal viewed Le Corbusier's 1960 lithograph paintings, Cortege in Switzerland, calling them a reflection of enduring India-Switzerland artistic and cultural ties, showcasing shared heritage and creativity. BJP MP Ravi Shankar Prasad has blasted Pakistan on return to India on its army terror nexus. The MP said that Pakistan is effectively being run by a military terrorist coalition. India's Minister of State for Home Affairs Nityanand Rai inaugurated the 23rd National Security Guard International Seminar in New Delhi. Rai stressed that India is not going to tolerate any kind of terrorist activities and will continue to take concrete steps to counter terrorism. Terming the Pahalgam terror attack as a dastardly act, the Indian minister said the country has given a befitting reply to Pakistan under the Operation Sindoor and destroyed terrorists' hideouts. Minister Rai also said that terrorism is the biggest threat to global peace, progress and growth. He pointed out that the world must come together to effectively deal with the menace of terrorism and dismantle the terrorist infrastructure. Speaking on the successful completion of 11 years of PM Modi-led NDA government, Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath emphasized on ending dynastic politics to avoid repeating the mistakes of history and losing independence again. The head of the BAPS Hindu temple in Abu Dhabi, Swami Brahma Vihari Das, praised PM Modi for his dedicated leadership, noting his efforts in the past 11 years to strengthen India and uplift the world. India's defence production has reached 1,27,434 crore rupees, marking a 174% increase from 46,429 crore rupees in 2014. With initiatives like Make in India, the country is on the path to becoming a global leader in indigenous defence manufacturing. Responding to a post on X by MyGov India, PM Narendra Modi said that the last 11 years have marked significant changes in India's defence sector, with a clear focus on both modernization and becoming self-reliant. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh lauded PM Narendra Modi's 11-year leadership on X, crediting him for transforming India's defence with stronger borders, modern forces and indigenous weapons, boosting self-reliance and global trust. Minister Singh highlighted on X that under PM Modi's leadership, India's defence has achieved record exports, modernized armed forces and indigenous weaponry over 11 years, marking a proud stride towards self-reliance and global prominence. India's defense exports have now reached more than 100 countries, up from zero in 2014. The vision of self-reliance in India has made the country go global with advanced military technology. Education Minister Dharmendra Pradhan attended the International Conference of Young Scientists at IIT Hyderabad, Telangana, with over 200 delegates from 60 countries, highlighting India's rising prominence as a global knowledge hub. The 17th edition of the joint military exercise Nomadic Elephant 2025 between India and Mongolia is underway at the Special Forces Training Center in Ulaanbaatar. Focusing on non-conventional operations in semi-urban and mountainous terrain, the Nomadic Elephant exercise aims to enhance joint operational capabilities and interoperability between the Indian Army and the Mongolian Army. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman led the 29th FSDC meeting in Mumbai, assessing India's financial stability amid global uncertainties. Attendees included MOS Pankaj Chaudhary, RBI Governor Sanjay Malhotra, and key finance secretaries. The Reserve Bank of India has announced that it will discontinue daily variable rate repo auctions starting June 11th. The discontinuation of the VRR is because of a liquidity surplus in the banking system, reaching approximately 3 lakh crore rupees. World Bank has updated global poverty lines. As per data in 2025, Bangladesh's extreme poverty hit 9.3% amid economic slowdown. Sri Lanka faced modest growth, debt pressures, while Pakistan's poverty rose to 44.7%. In business, Indian indices ended the day in red. At close, the Sensex was down 53.49 points to 82,391.72. While Nifty was up 1.05 points at 25,104.25. Indian rupee ended flat at 85.62 per dollar on Tuesday versus Monday's close of 85.63. Oil prices edged up on Tuesday. Brent crude futures edged at $67.16 a barrel. US West Texas Intermediate crude was trading up 13 cents at $65.42 after hitting its highest since April 4 earlier in the session. Global stocks edged higher on Tuesday as trade talks between the US and China were set to extend to a second day. US Treasuries were yielding around 4.45%, down 3.2 basis points on the day. The US dollar firmed up on Tuesday while sterling dropped as British jobs data pointed to a weaker labour market. The euro was down 0.2% while the Australian dollar was 0.2% lower. Spain's central bank lowered its 2025 economic growth forecast to 2.4% from 2.7%, citing uncertainty from US President Trump's tariffs and risks of a global slowdown. Ride-hailing firm Uber will launch self-driving taxis in London next year when England trials new driverless services, the firm and the UK government announced on Tuesday. Top US and Chinese economic officials resumed trade talks in London on Tuesday, aiming to bridge divides on critical export controls and ease global supply chain concerns. The Israeli military on Tuesday called for residents to evacuate several neighborhoods in northern Gaza after it said it had intercepted a projectile fired from the Palestinian territory. The Israeli military said it intercepted a projectile that had entered Israeli airspace from Gaza, where it has fought the Palestinian militant group Hamas for more than 20 months now. Yemen's media outlets reported Israeli strikes on the port of Hodeidah on Tuesday, with the Israeli army saying its navy hit the area following calls on civilians to evacuate 3 Houthi-held ports. Europe is facing a perfect storm on defense as it presses to rearm in the face of Russian aggression and doubts over US engagement, as per the EU's Defense Commissioner on Tuesday. In the US, National Guard troops arrived to aid police lines in Santa Ana on Monday night as hundreds of protesters took to the streets during demonstrations opposing immigration raised by the Trump government. US President Donald Trump has ordered active duty US Marines and 2,000 more National Guard troops into Los Angeles, vowing those protesting immigration arrests would be hit harder than ever. On the ongoing anti-ICE protests, the United Nations has urged for joint efforts to prevent the escalation of militarization in Los Angeles. US President Trump's support for arresting California Governor Gavin Newsom has been labeled authoritarian by Newsom following federalization of 2,000 National Guard troops in Los Angeles. Democrats have called the move as unnecessary provocation. In a devastating act of school shooting, at least 9 people were reported killed, a number of others injured in the southern Austrian city of Graz on Tuesday. France's President Emmanuel Macron on Tuesday denounced a senseless wave of violence after a teaching assistant was fatally stabbed by a pupil outside a school in eastern France. Addressing the UN Ocean Conference in Nice on Tuesday, India's Earth and Sciences Minister Dr. Jitendra Singh spoke about India's unwavering commitment to the UN's Sustainable Development Goals. The U.S. State Department directed all U.S. missions abroad and consular sections to resume processing Harvard University student and exchange visitor visas after a federal judge in Boston last week temporarily blocked President Donald Trump's ban on foreign students. U.S. Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. announced he was dismissing all current members of a key federal vaccine advisory panel, accusing them of conflict of interest. At least 2 people died in fresh drone attacks on the Ukrainian capital Kyiv and the port city of Odessa early on Tuesday amid Russia-Ukraine conflict. Ukraine and Russia carried out the first stage of a prisoner exchange on Monday, following agreements reached in Istanbul last week. The Kremlin said on Tuesday that Russia remains ready to return the bodies of Ukrainian soldiers killed in the ongoing conflict and is currently in talks with Kyiv regarding the exchange. The UK government on Tuesday said it will invest billions of pounds in the new Sizewell C nuclear power plant as it strives to meet its net zero and energy security targets. According to new research on Tuesday, emperor penguin populations in Antarctica have shrunk by almost a quarter as global warming transforms their icy habitat. We're heading for a short break. We'll be back with Express News in just a bit. Stay tuned to DD India.
The US launch a bombing campaign against Iran. The Philippines vessel suffered structural damage. The saga of child sexual abuse is the United States China's debt trap strategy. Truth is stranger than fiction. But sometimes hard to uncover. Trust us to tell the truth, unadulterated and pure, of every story that matters to you.
That's exactly what saved your...
You read between the lines, cut the clutter, and connect the dots to get you the full picture. Watch Connecting the Dots at these times with me, only on DD India.
DD India. The first hurricane of the eastern Pacific season, dubbed Barbara, has weakened to a tropical storm off the coast of Mexico on Monday. Mexico's National Water Commission has reported that Barbara's outer bands are likely to bring heavy rainfall and warned that the rainfall could cause landslides, rising water levels and flooding in low-lying areas. Canada's military has begun airlifting residents from the remote Sandy Lake First Nation in northern Ontario as wildfires spread from the prairies into the province. In recent weeks, wildfires have swept through heavily forested areas of the prairies, displacing over 30,000 residents across Alberta, Saskatchewan and Manitoba. Both Saskatchewan and Manitoba have declared states of emergency. People of the New South Wales in Australia woke to the first snow of the season. The last significant snowfall in central Tablelands occurred in 2021, making this event a rare and delightful surprise for residents. The India Meteorological Department has issued warnings for heat wave-like conditions in the capital and surrounding regions, predicting temperatures may touch 45 degrees Celsius again on Tuesday. Parts of Bihar, coastal Andhra Pradesh and Gangetic West Bengal are expected to experience hot and humid weather, with similar conditions likely to persist in Rajasthan over the next few days. Sri Ganganagar in Rajasthan recorded a staggering 47.3 degrees Celsius, making it one of the hottest spots in the region. The flood situation in India's northeastern state of Assam has improved further as the major rivers showed a receding trend, with none of the rivers flowing above danger mark. The India Meteorological Department has issued a yellow alert for all northeastern states. Heavy rainfall with thunderstorms and lightning is likely in isolated places of Assam and Meghalaya. A kite flying competition was held in the Shilin River tourist in Mongolia. Kites shaped like mythical creatures, their wings shimmering in the sunlight, and others that resemble flowers, their petals unfurling gracefully in the breeze. Kenya's National Theatre recently hosted Urembo, the not-so-beautiful show, a groundbreaking aerial arts competition that used dance and acrobatics to raise awareness about climate change. Founded by Congolese aerialist Christine Misenga, the event brought together young performers who showcased choreographed routines tackling environmental issues. The Hayward Gallery in London is showcasing the largest European retrospective of Yoshitomo Nara's work, featuring over 150 pieces from the Japanese artist's 40-year career. The exhibition includes drawings, paintings, sculptures, ceramics and installations that reflect Nara's diverse influences such as music, nature and the peace movement. Julien's Auctions is hosting the largest collection of Princess Diana's fashion items to go to auction. The sale, titled Princess Diana Style and a Royal Collection, features a wide range of items including dresses, handbags and accessories. Among the highlights at Julien's auction is a 1988 silk floral dress by Belleville Sassoon, dubbed the caring dress, as Princess Diana wore it several times on hospital visits, with a price estimate of $200,000 to $300,000. To commemorate the 30th anniversary of Christo and Jean-Claude's iconic wrapped Reichstag installation, a new light projection artwork is recreating the look of the wrapped building. In 1995, the artist duo wrapped the Reichstag in 100,000 square meters of silver fabric, drawing huge crowds. This modern reinterpretation uses light projection to pay homage to the original piece. A special exhibition titled Echoes of Enlightenment, Light in Stone, Breathe on Canvas opened at the Colombo National Museum to mark Pozon Poya, an annual festival commemorating the arrival of Buddhism in Sri Lanka. Celebrating the deep cultural ties between India and Sri Lanka, the special exhibition features rare Buddha sculptures from both countries along with ancient paintings and photographs dating back to the 1st century BCE. In a vibrant celebration of words, ideas and cultures, the 3rd edition of the Jaipur Literature Festival in Valladolid, the former capital of Spain, has once again opened a literary bridge between India and the world. Sarvam AI, a homegrown Indian startup, has launched Sarvam Samvad, India's own AI assistant. This conversational platform enables businesses to create, test and deploy AI agents in up to 11 Indian languages. Rampur's Raza Library in India's northern state of Uttar Pradesh earned acclaim for its innovative and forward-thinking approach. Its AI-powered talking book initiative was particularly praised during the annual festival of the Russian Library Association. The library's director Pushkar Mishra highlighted the library's forthcoming initiatives, including the integration of artificial intelligence, blockchain technology, and advanced digital platforms. The BET Awards 2025 marked its 25th anniversary in Los Angeles, with Kendrick Lamar leading nominations and wins. Actor Cynthia Erivo and Denzel Washington took home Best Actress and Best Actor BET Awards respectively. The film Luther Never Too Much won Best Movie, while Beyoncé's daughter Blue Ivy Carter received the Young Stars Award. Warner Brothers Discovery is going to split into 2 companies as it seeks to better position itself for the streaming era. The Warner Brothers Discovery will break itself into 2 publicly traded companies, one covering streaming and studios and the other global networks. A U.S. judge on Monday dismissed actor Justin Baldoni's $400 million defamation lawsuit against actor Blake Lively, who had accused Baldoni of sexually harassing her while filming the 2024 movie It Ends With Us. K-pop superstars RM and V of BTS were officially discharged on Tuesday after completing 18 months of mandatory military service in South Korea. Actor Christian Slater was presented with the 2,815th star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame on Monday. Comedy film The Pickup, starring Pete Davidson and Eddie Murphy, released its trailer on Monday. The Amazon Prime Video film is set to premiere on 6th August. Vertigo fame star Kim Novak will be honored with a Golden Lion for Lifetime Achievement at the Venice Film Festival. Sly Stone, the driving force behind Sly and the Family Stone, a multiracial American band whose boiling mix of rock, soul and psychedelia embodied 1960s idealism and helped popularize funk music, has passed away at the age of 82. South Africa take on defending champions Australia in the World Test Championship final in London on Wednesday. Australia batter Steve Smith expects Spain to play a significant role in the World Test Championship final at Lord's as London basks in dry weather. South Africa veteran spinner Keshav Maharaj is just 2 wickets short of reaching the 200 club in Test cricket. West Indies wicketkeeper batter Nicholas Pooran announced his retirement from all forms of international cricket on Tuesday. Former seamer James Anderson said that it was a huge honour that the Test series between India and England has been named after him and Sachin Tendulkar. India's top order batter Ruturaj Gaikwad has been signed by County Cricket Club Yorkshire until the end of the season. The Indian men's hockey team aims to bounce back as they face Argentina in the FIH Pro League in Amstelveen on Wednesday. Hockey India announced the 24-member junior men's team for the upcoming Four Nations tournament, scheduled to take place in Germany from 21st to 25th of June. Ace Indian race walker Priyanka Goswami won the 10-kilometer event at the Austrian Race Walking Championships in Innsbruck. In swimming, Summer McIntosh smashed the decade-old world record in women's 200-meter individual medley on Tuesday. Ahead of World Cup qualifier against Colombia on Wednesday, manager Lionel Scaloni said Argentina has learned to cope with Lionel Messi's absences. Atletico Madrid have signed Argentine goalkeeper Juan Musso from Atalanta on a 3-year contract. Wales manager Craig Bellamy said his side is still on track to qualify for the World Cup despite slipping from top spot in their group following a 4-3 defeat in Belgium. Formula One has announced the 2026 season calendar on Tuesday. The championship will kick off with the Melbourne Grand Prix in March. And former world number one Andy Murray has left the door open to a coaching return after a short stint with Novak Djokovic ended without a trophy. That's a wrap on Express News. Thanks for watching.